Welcome to this part on the Cities Skylines Map Editor, where we are creating a custom map which will eventually be taken forward to a Let's Play. And the idea is to get as many of the features and buildings that can be laid out put onto the map surface, and that's what we've done. In the last part we placed some beaches down here. They're not quite finished, and in the in-between time I've done some more work on this river here. It started to throw waves, and I've kind of managed to settle it down. It's taken quite a long time. And the other thing I've also done is up here I've created some kind of plateau layers here for flattening in there, and so that's where we got to. Now the focus of this part is going to be external connections, but what I'm going to do is, rather than do the roads, I'm going to concentrate on the ships, planes, and maybe trains. We'll see how it goes. Now the first thing I want to do is lay in a road connection, because if I click here, you will see this chirper on the top here has got a hat on, and you can see the top part here is the mandatory requirements. You must have these requirements in order to be able to publish a map to the interface. And then below we've got the recommended ones here, which includes a train track, a ship path, at least one plane, so you can have one of each. Now I'm going to be a little bit traditional in the sense that we're going to start with the road, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to put one road in to start with, because to fill that initial requirement. So what I'm going to do is put a junction in, and we're just going to put a junction here. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of an angle, say like that, because what I want to do is bring a road in, say somewhere down around here, coming up through here, over there, here, over the top of the initial square and going out there, and another road going up that way, or maybe it will come through here, up through there. So that's the idea. Now, so what I'm going to do is just put this in, say about there. And I mean, it's not going to be final, and as I say, the idea of this is just to create the initial road connection to do the building. And also the reason I'm placing the junction is that I can't remember how the roads go, which way they go, so I think placing a map there. Now I'm going to have a quick chat about left and right handed. Because you're laying down highways, the game is able to reverse them. But what I am going to do, as you can see, this puts down the right hand drive, so I think you've got to obey these rules, which is another reason why I've kind of put the junction down, because being a Brit, I'm not particularly that au fait with the convention, so I need a guide, and so I'm just going to follow the normal convention of most game maps, in the fact that you provide a junction here. Forgotten what a pain putting roads in can be in sometimes. Now, just going to do that, lock that up there. I must admit, I do like to have the road junction set well back away from the top of the map to give some space to expand into later on. So we're just going to do that. We can see we've got the junctions the right way round, and what I'm going to do now is pick out the outbound one, and we're going to aim for this area here. So, and what I'm actually going to do is not going to worry too much about the actual precision of it. So what I'm going to do is just kind of come out here, just kind of maybe come up this way, cut through here. As I say, I probably will come back and tidy it up afterwards. I mean, this is just purely so I can test the boats and planes, and this will, you can see the little green arrow on the edge, so we're just going to go back the other way. Sure, I presume I have to. It's going to be a little bit fiddly, and I'm just going to come this way. As I say, I'm just going to work it this way. So I'm not that worried about the layout at the moment, because I will come back and refine this when I actually do the roads. This is just simply so I can publish the map. So it's coming together quite nicely. As I say, I will smooth the kinks out. And we're just gonna, and I think that fulfills the requirements of the road. You can see at the top here we have one inbound, one outbound road. If we come here, you can see there we've now fulfilled all the requirements for the map. Now what I'm going to do next is the sea ships, and we're going to start up here. Now, ships are different in the sense that you see the shaded area, that has to be on the water, and if we zoom in you can see shipping channels are bi-directional, so we're just going to it does seem a bit we're just going to bring this through here, trying to keep it curved, bearing in mind that you won't see this here, it's got to be in the, I mean the main purpose of this one is just to see if that will work. I'm not totally sure if it will work. Now what I'm going to do again up here, I'll just go this way out. Is that, no, it's not gone over the edge. Now it has, so we're just going to bring a shipping channel up here. So I'm just going to, and to start with I'm just going to bring it up here, kind of maybe just curve it in there. So what I want it to do is to come in, again I'm not too sure, maybe this is getting a bit wibbly wobbly, so we'll just try and put some straight edges in here. I'm just gonna kind of come up here, don't know if I can create a small turning circle type thing here. And oh, I can join it back, but I can't, I don't want to join it back, so I'm going to do like that. Just maybe bring this way, go back to the curve tool again, and we're just going to, I think that's enough. We've got ships coming in and going back. I mean, I don't know whether that's a path, that's the reason why we're going to play test this. You can see we've got plenty of flow on the water. Now, aircraft's very, very similar. I've got no real idea how aircraft work, so what we're going to do is just draw a band, probably slightly no, let's go a bit, let's maybe start a bit higher, and we're just going to come across the top of the map like that, and I think I don't think you can cross them, no. So I think we'll just bring another one over here, because obviously if we're going to build an international airport, it has to kind of come up in the air. Now you can't see it, I presume it's there. I mean, to give you an idea, is I'm assuming that international airports and that will be out on the outskirts. So I've kind of put them so that this is a flattish area. There's probably a little flat area there. So if someone's building an airport, they're going to be building up in these areas. So that's the air lanes in. And what we're going to do now is just run the railway. Now, I'm kind of inclined to bring the railway in just across the top of the map here. Maybe across this area here. Cut in maybe across here and go out that way. So I think that's where the first railway line is going to be. So we're going to start down here. Going to catch a train. Again, like the shipping, railway lines are bi-directional, so you don't have to have one another. So we're just going to maybe we'll just kind of come down here. Now I want some height, so we're just going to come in here and we're going to go up to, we'll get a nice big bridge over here. So maybe we'll come in like this, then we'll come down a bit, and then we'll come down again like that. And that should make sure that any shipping could be able to get through. Oops. And what we're going to do now is just curve the railway up through here, across here, and I'm looking to cut maybe through the top of the square, so we're going to have to come in here nice and close. We'll just nip across with a small railway bridge there across the motorway. Right. Maybe that's not. We'll just cut that back a bit. And we're just kind of aiming to see if we can get in a bit closer so we can put a bridge across here. Maybe we're... Oh, that's good. And we're just going to kind of cut across the top of here. Let's say I will tidy this up over time. So that's the railway that way. Now, is it worth? What do you think? Maybe we'll come down, do a railway, take it off here. Maybe go off the edge of the map there. Well, maybe we'll start there and kind of take a railway off there, across the top of the river there. And just to make it look accurate, technically accurate, we'll just take your curve tool create a nice little Y junction there for the trains to do. So that's the train lines laid in with the road there. So I think that's all we need to do. Just going to have a quick check now. So we've got at least one train track, one ship track, one plane path. So I think that's all we need to do in this part now. And as I say, if I zoom in, you can see, like especially like over here, I'm sure I noticed it. You've got areas here where it's cut into the terrain, and the same with the road here. You've got like there, so that's gonna need a little bit of work. Although to be honest, no one's gonna really see it when it's finished. So that's what we're gonna do now is I'm going to save this game, turn it into a map, and then we'll do a bit of play testing just to try out, see if the ports work and the shipping works. So I will see you on the normal game map. Welcome to the game map. You can see we've now have the connection in and things are working, and first thing we've got to do is get out and buy some tiles so we can look at a few things. So I'm just going to, I know I could use the full 25 tile unlock. Looks like we've got some ships coming in already, which is good. And I think we're just, I think what I'll do is I'll purchase up the kind of, I think that's the initial square, isn't it? So I'll purchase there and I'll purchase that one. Don't think I can purchase anymore. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So we've now got that here. Now the first thing we're going to do is just to check to see we've got some ships coming in here. So what I'm going to do now is just put some metro train ships and boats and planes. We've got, I'll put one of these and one of these in. There's a cargo port under there. It looks like we're going to have to put some water in to see if to get it working. So we're just going to put the pump there, sewage there. God, brings back memories. So we're just going to, and I think what we're going to do is we've probably got quite a powerful, actually let's just drop some wind farms in, just to do it the quick way. See, we need to connect these with roads. So we're just, and I think what we'll do is just bring, I'll just bring the road down like that. I think we'll just connect this up. So just going to see whether, I mean there's a good chance that the docks, nothing will actually dock. We might have to stimulate some traffic, so let's just try. Okay, I didn't buy the tile. Just have to come back for that one and have a look. Right, so just going to have a quick look at this, see how it goes. And the other thing I'm going to do while waiting for something that to happen, I'll jazz the speed up. We've got some traffic coming in here. Can we see any trains running? Oh, we've got trains running. That's good. Now what the other thing I want to check is airports, because obviously we've got an international airport here. We've got to be able to build it. So we can build one there, out of city limits. Can build one there. So we've got, yeah, I mean it'd be a bit silly if we placed wanted to build an airport and it didn't actually fit into the map. So yeah, there's locations here where Hope to sleep. There's plenty of locations for airports. So what we'll do is we'll probably need a road in to locate the airport. So we'll just come across here. Yep, I think we've got, I mean I've got no idea whether this will actually work. So I'm just going to actually put some power up here as well. Actually, let's drop a... Suppose it goes without saying that it's going to get dark, so we'll drop some light commercial in just to stimulate some demand to see whether these actual ports work. It's a bit dark at the moment, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video now and come back when it's daylight. It's just getting daylight now. That. It's always the same. Oh, got free. Oh, it's got garbage there, so I better put some garbage. Put some. Come on, guys. Oh, the ships are definitely coming up. They're just not docking. Maybe because there's no garbage and there's no demand. Maybe if I put a bit more residential down. Ah, this is fun. I haven't done a bit out of practice with this. I haven't actually played that much Cities Skylines recently. It's strangely enough, making these videos takes a lot of time. Therefore, I haven't actually had the time to do the type of things I wanted to do. Oops, got no water, and that old habits come back. Just put that in there. Obviously, I've joined the and didn't join that road through. Quite a lot of good that's going to do. So let's take that out and join this through with a two-way road. So we've got people moving in. We've got a bit of demand there. All we need now is to see a ship dock. It'd be nice if an aircraft landed. But I think we can have a reasonable confidence. I mean, I will play this a bit more actively, but at the moment I'm just waiting to see whether it goes. It's getting dark again, so I'm going to pause the video again and only bring it back if something actually happens. Comes another ship. And this one's docked. There we are. It took a little while and it disappeared. I think it disappeared because there's nothing for us to export at the moment because we've got no industry. So we've got a little bit of... we have progress. So this is where I'm going to leave it for this gameplay at the moment. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to quit out, reload, restart the map, and then just so I can go up and check this area up here. So see you in a minute. Right, welcome back. What I've done is I've basically restarted the map, and what I've done is come up here and we'll see if we can place a port here. Oops, not a port. Let's just put a passenger ship in. Ah, now we have a problem. Obviously the connection has to be made outside of a thing, so this could be a top tip. When you're laying out shipping channels, they have to be within this end line here. If we come out here and just come back in again, this end piece here has to be within the boundary of the city. So it says here, cannot connect to this route, so the route has to be within an active tile, and that's off the playing area, so that shipping route's never going to work. Now that gives me two options. I can either cut this in and create a shipping area, or do I really need it? Or would someone ever come up here this far and actually make the connection? I suppose that's the other point that can be made. Now, the other thing I've realised is that these railways, if I click here, I suppose the railway does cover this area here, it does come over there, so I think there's potential there. Maybe the port is a bit... So I think what I was going to do is purchase this tile here, because something's just occurred to me that you've got the dam up there, but somebody may not want to go there. So what happens if I build a dam here? It's hydroelectric power. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shoot a dam across here and see what happens. I'm just going to speed the game up again, and what I'll do is oops, looks like we've got a bit of a surge here. Oh, is it going to flood? Is it going to flood? Might take a little while to build up. I think what I'll do is I'll just let the game run on, and I'll come back when it actually builds up. So we'll see you when the water level, when the dam opens. Welcome back. You can see the water's now built up, and the dam's producing roughly about 190 megawatts. It opened up in the dark, but I couldn't see much point in recording that. Now, that shows that you could build a reasonable powered dam just down here. Now, and as I say, it's pushed out about 150 megawatts. The downside is that if I click here, and you can see that that is just on the edge. So I'm going to have to move the railway so that if somebody doesn't want to buy this upper tile, wants to build a dam here, they'll be able to, because otherwise this bridge would be in the way. So I think we're going to have to maybe bring the railway south, or well, maybe we could do it over there, or just move it up a bit. So that goes to show there. I mean, so I'm just going to pause the game to go there. So it means we've got working dams through here, and they're not flooding downstream. We've now got we've got the problem with the port up here, which I think I'll just remove the shipping lane there. I can't see any point, because I mean, if someone unlocks all 25 tiles, if I come out here, I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and someone would probably want to buy this one. And so it's a possibility somebody, that's a lot of tile to buy just to do. I mean, if you build all 25, it's a good building area, but I mean, if I was playing this with just the 9 tiles, I probably wouldn't want that one there. I would probably take that one. And I think this illustrates, which would be the next part that comes in, is placing the resources, because obviously you'd want that for a port, this area here and there, maybe not that, so you might open up this area here, and maybe having the dam up there. So I think it's going to be quite important to move that railway on the play testing. So that's all to be considered. So what I'm going to do now is just pause the game, and I'm going to see you back on the map editor where we'll make those changes. Welcome back to the map editor. So the first thing we're going to do is come up here and get rid of chirper. As I say, I could cut this in. Maybe I should. No, I think I'm just going to take this out. And it's right up at the edge of the map, so can't see any point in having this ship path here. So we're just going to take this one out. Well, it's a nice idea, conceptual idea, but I don't think it's going to be much benefit to someone who wants to play the map, so we're going to just take that out. And what we're going to do train wise is get down here, take out this train here. Maybe actually, yeah, maybe we can do this. Well, we've got this area here. And what we'll do is we'll just take that, pick the curve up here. I think what we'll do is we'll want to curve it up that way. Kind of just bring it in there. And I think what we'll do, just to make it interesting, is this comes in from the top of the map and the current one comes here, so maybe if we'll just connect it there, and we'll just take this line out here. So I will tidy it up. Oops-a-daisy. We'll just connect that up there. Take this out. And is it worth putting in another railway line up? No, I don't think it's going to be worth that. Yeah, so I think that does it. This now opens this space up. I probably will. This gives a connection to there. I think maybe what we'll do actually is let's take this line out here. I won't delete it all. What I'll do is I'll just delete the end. I'll tidy this up afterwards. I think you guys know equally, you know how to. And I think what we're going to do is just... Oh, why is that? Oh, it's not right on the end, so... I think what we're going to do is just bring this railway line down here. Where does it come onto the map? There it is there. I think what we'll do is we'll just bring this down and take that off there, and then we'll remove this end piece here. Just take that off. And then that will give a kind of a connection to this side of the map if somebody wants to use it, and across this corner. As I say, I think what we'll probably do is just tidy that up. So I think that's about it for this part. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been useful in the sense that you've got a feel for how this needs to do. Obviously I'm going to drop this bridge down and probably relay the railway lines a little bit, tidy them up off camera, because I think that might need it there. And the shipping lines are okay. As I say, we'll just redo this bridge here, although I quite like that curve actually. There must be a way to... I wonder if it'd be nice if it was just reversed. Sorry, I'm digressing. Yep, this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the episode and it's been useful, and that, you know, it's something that, you know, you're finding it useful, you want to do it, work on your own custom map, and that's all that's going to be there. The next part obviously is going to be about laying in the road connections. So until then, enjoy your gaming.